Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our exclusive webinar on voice AI agents transforming the real estate industry. My name is Sanjana, and I'll be your host today. Thank you for joining us from different parts of the country. We have a packed session filled with insights, real world applications, and live demos that will show you how AI is transforming and revolutionizing the real estate industry. I'll quickly introduce today's panel. Joining us today, we have Rajesh Kanjani, who is co-founder and CEO of Datumquest, an AI strategist and technology evangelist. With his deep expertise in building AI agents, Rajesh will guide us through cutting-edge innovations and live demos that are already making an impact in the industry. Along with, we have a chief speaker over here, that is Mr. Kalyan Acharya, who is co-founder and director of sales at ThinkWig Technology and Datumquest. Kalyan brings real-world experience from working closely with international real estate businesses, helping them boost growth through AI. Welcome, Rajesh and Kalyan.
Hey, hi Sanjana.
Thanks.
Hi Rajesh.
Yeah, hi.
So before we begin, there's just a quick overview. So the session will last around 45 minutes, where we'll be talking mainly about AI voice agents. We'll be sharing a few case studies, some success stories, and also be giving a live demo followed by a QA session. And lastly, we'll also be sharing the recording post the webinar and a feedback form after the session. Moving forward, Rajesh, I wanted to ask you, so for those who are new to this industry or to the space who have no idea about what AI is, right? So what exactly are AI agents?
So basically, that is our agenda today. Okay. So most of the people do not know. First of all, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
you are Rajesh. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So basically, what we do is we always compare the AI agents with the robot. Okay. So basically, when you compare with them robot, okay, AI agents have a lot of similarities. Okay, like robots have sensors. Okay, in order to view, okay, so they can view via camera. Okay, they have an environment, okay, just like ground, sky, and those. Okay, so the same thing we can consider it as a robot, but again they are not the actual robots that can be handled with the help of piece of code or a piece of software, we can say. Okay, and basically most of the tasks are being done by the tools. Okay, so there is a computer program, okay, and which is going to help you to do those tasks. Okay, so let's say I'm saying like I want to know how is the weather. Okay, is it going to raining outside or not? Okay, so when as a human being, what you can do is you can go outside, see the clouds. Okay, that is the environment. Okay, so you see the clouds. Okay, now the perception is something like you percept is, I can say, like what are the parameters you get from that environment. Okay, so how are the clouds? Okay, so is this is a something that we percept. Okay, and then we apply our brain, like uh what is in the stage, is it monsoon season, is it summer season? Okay, how the sky is. Okay, is it dark, okay, and black? Okay, so depending upon my perception and my long term memory, I realize that it is going to rain today or not, and that is the action I'm going to take, is I have to take an umbrella. Okay, and then I have to go outside, right? So in the similar way, okay, AI agent is going to do the same task. Okay, just like when I'm going to say them, is it going to raining outside? Okay, so what it can do is it can percept with the help of API, weather API. Okay, and then with the help of the weather API, it is going to see the air speed. Okay, how are the clouds? Okay, and depending upon then, it is going to apply his brains with the help of LLM. LLM is the AI agent's brain, we can say. And there you can have some knowledge bases, like you can have your whatever the your past data, history data. Okay, what is are your current data? Okay, so you can save all of those data within that memory. Okay, and there are some business rules that you always apply when it comes to business. Okay, so these business rules have been stored in the knowledge base. Okay, and then depending on combining knowledge base and memory, okay, then API is going to take the action. Okay, and depending upon those, it is going to take that action. Like if it's going to be raining, okay, I can get the message via email, WhatsApp, or any other medium. Like it is going to rain out today, so you have to take the umbrella. So we can have a lot of scenarios, okay, where it is going to help us. Okay, so it can be voice invoice automation, purchase order automation. Okay, it can do a lot of tasks when it comes to real estate agent. Okay, it is going to help to call the customers. Okay, so that is where we are going to discuss today about the voice agents. Okay, so basically, let me tell you what basically are the voice agents. Okay,
Sure.
so when I told you guys that AI agent is going to do our task, okay, so a lot of people ask me why and how, because most of the people were not aware about that it can handle the speech now. Now voice agents are being very smart. Okay, and with the help of the voice, I mean speech to text API, okay, it can get your voice, okay, and can translate it. Okay, so whatever the thing I'm speaking at the moment is going to be translated into the transcript. Okay, just like the Teams is recording this session. Okay, so it is going to use the transcript services. Might be they can use it from the Microsoft, Amazon, OpenAI. Okay, everybody is providing all these services. Okay, but I recommend uh, OpenAI's Whisper. That is the best service that we have been using at the moment. So what it does is when I'm speaking, okay, it transcripts and translates into the text. Okay, let's say I'm going to tell anyone that go and make the flight booking for me. Okay, and I'm specifying them the date. Okay, like 5th September to 7th September. Okay, and there might be some business rules to it. Okay, like you have to do not have to go ahead if the price is more than 10,000 or so. Okay, so there are the business rules that uh, I'm providing it to my agent. Apart from that, I'm providing the date. Apart from that, I'm if there are other parameters, like I do not want to go with Boeing Airlines, Boeing plane. Okay, so I can provide it like, so again, there is an API, okay, where it is going to check whether the plane is of Boeing or not. Okay, so in this way, speak to text is there, and guardrails are something that I told, like there are business rules or something like which I want. Okay, and my context should be very clear. Okay, and then AI agent is going to generate those responses. Okay, with the help of LLM. Okay, and then it is going to send us. And but before it is going to send us, okay, we can set their output parameters, like how the user is going to want that response. Okay, and that is where these guardrails. Okay, now I do understand a lot of people ask me what are the guardrails. Okay, so guardrails are something like when you see the road. Okay, 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 you see like there are something like on the edges. Okay, you see the rails are there. Okay, that are technically the guardrails. Okay, what the help is, they tell you what to answer, what not to answer, and what to answer in which way. Okay, so if anybody is asking a question, okay, which is out of scope, okay, then it is going to tell them that, boss, this is a thing I don't know as an agent. Okay, for this you have to speak to the another person. So this is the basic purpose of the guardrails. Okay, moving next.
So, Rajesh, tell me, like, we understand what voice agents are, but like, how are they different from the traditional chatbots that we have?
Yeah, so basically when it comes to the voice agents, okay, traditionally chatbots, I mean, uh, you might have used Tata Sky, okay, as an
Right.
app. Okay, okay, so when you go to the Tata Play, okay, you see that a lot of parameters are there. For adding this channel number, you have to search the channel number and you have to go to and tell them that add this channel number. Okay, and there are pre-instructions are there. Okay, but you cannot have a voice assistant or an agent who is going to speak to you and tell you that I want to add the star plus HD. Okay, so AI agents and the voice AI agents are very smart enough. Okay, so if you want to add this like star plus HD, okay, they are going to go into their database, check the channel number, add that channel number to your account, and again they are going to reconfirm that. Okay, so that is a process they are been following. Okay, now
Right.
these are the some of the things that are been mentioned, like previously when we were handling the traditional chatbots. Okay, people were very tired of filling those forms on buttons. Okay, and they were feeling like if they do not see an option in the drop down, okay, they get frustrated. Okay, and most of the times the traditional chatbots were unable to answer those, and they were not working 24/7 like voice agents are, and they were not feeling like human. Okay, they were feeling like it is just a bot, or where there was an one-way communication. While when we talk as an to the voice agent, you will never feel that we are talking to bots. Okay, you feel like we are talking to woman. Okay, and even you feel like they are also laughing and giggling. Okay, so that's the best thing that we can have the voice agents.
Yeah. That's, I think, very insightful and informational. So, moving forward to you, Kalyan, like from a business standpoint, you have worked with a lot of international clients, right? So, why should real estate companies be considering adopting AI agents today rather than later?
Yeah. So I think, see, this is a right time, and not wrong to say that it's high time as well, because
Yeah.
if you might have seen for the past 1 year already, we've been talking a lot about AI agents, in the market. Whoever has associated with any businesses, they might have heard about AI
Hmm.
agents, how they are adding, right? So the very agenda of this call is to uh, explain what value can it add, especially in the real estate industry. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you are asking me why it is a right time. I would
Correct.
say it's right time, and sometimes it is also not wrong to call that it is high time. Okay. So
Yeah.
any entrepreneur, be it in real estate, be it in IT, be it in any business, for example, right? They might have been hearing about AI agents, especially in the last 1 year, right? And obviously there's a lot of information available online which gives a lot of understanding of how AI agents are revolutionizing the way businesses are run these days, right? And
Yeah.
being from sales background, I myself handling sales at ThinkWick and Datumquest, and having spoken to a lot of entrepreneurs, sales managers all these years, I understand there are very kind of common pain points when you are talking about sales automation, and the kind of different problems that they have, right? So at this point, what is very important is that the promptness is very important. Okay. So imagine if a lead comes into the organization, how quickly are you taking over that lead, right? Are you able to even respond within 5 minutes after receiving the lead, right? So there are certain things where, if you consider us and as humans, there are certain restrictions, because, we have our lives. Maybe we work 8 hours a day and we're not
Yeah.
available all around the clock, right? So in such cases, and the customers, when they are like very much interested, especially in real estate, imagine a certain person who's wanting to rent his property or maybe buy a property. Okay. Or at the other end, they want to sell it, right? These kind of interactions, when you've made up your mind, and you're very eager to get into that financial transaction, you want people to be communicating to you very, very promptly, right? Are they available to give you a service 24/7, right? This particular thing is like not possible through a team of humans. Obviously you can have shifts and other stuff, but then, if to make everyone's life easy, why not implement AI agents that can be prompt, that can be available 24/7, right? And they can give you faster responses, qualify leads very, very quickly, right? So at the end of the day, what happens is that you're very prompt, you're giving a 24/7 service, you're closing leads faster because, when the customer is really interested, you are in conversation, okay? And you're not missing any calls, right? There's no delay callback, which means that you're closing more business, okay? Also, most important thing that I would want to stress on is, especially when you're considering a sales process, there are certain things within the sales process which can be very, very monotonous. They can be boring, okay?
Yeah.
However, what I want as a entrepreneur is, when you have hired talented people, someone like you, me, Rajesh, right, and other people who are a part of sales team in any of a real estate organization, their focus is always on meeting real people, talking about the deal,
That's
showing
true.
the property, closing the deal. That is what really excites you. However, the most essential part is, are you qualifying your leads? Okay, are you working on the lead nurturing process, right? The meeting is like a subsequent step which will come as an end result, but before all these things happen, right, is your lead nurturing process strong enough? And are your team members justifying it? Okay, are they giving enough time? So I think that is where voice agent plays a very important role. Anything which is like important part of your job, but you would
Correct.
not want to spend your energy or don't want to waste your doing that and concentrating on the most important part of the work. AI agents can be like flawless, and they'll add value rather than people thinking about what will happen to my job. People should think that talented people should do something which is very outstanding, and AI agents can be your assistants who will be helping you out throughout this process. Okay.
Right. So, Kalyan, moving forward, I mean, you've worked with several real estate firms globally, right? So, are there any
Right.
success stories where AI has significantly improved, conversions or engagement in your experience?
Yeah, exactly. So I have been associated, especially with when I talk about uh, countries. Canada has been one of my favorite industry in terms of real estate, right? So I've had
Mhm.
experience all these years working with many Canadian real estate business owners. Okay, now, so one of these examples that I'll use as a use case one here is that we worked with a client that is based out of Toronto. Okay, and the name of the organization is Gold Estate Agency. Now, right. So what they do is, they are a big team. They have 20 agents, and like I was mentioning, they don't want their reps to be focusing on these kind of pre qualifying processes where most of the time these talented people are wasting qualifying the leads. Okay, now what was happening is that they were running campaigns. Okay,
Right.
they generally have a lot of campaigns, and their campaigns are very, very beautiful. Okay, which really excites a user to go and then submit the details and inquire more about a certain property. Okay, now when the campaigns are good, your marketing team is strong, you get an overwhelming response from the the buyers or the sellers, whatever the campaign is for, right? So when you get overwhelmed and you have a lot of leads coming in, what happens is that you as a human do not know which one to pick up. How quickly can you cover all the leads? How big team do you have? Will we be able to handle all those leads, right? So can you as a team justify these leads? Can you properly qualify them as a human? Because you have limited time. However, you want to make sure that you're reaching all these leads and trying to understand buyers who are
Right.
serious sellers and what can we sell to them or buy from them. Okay, right? So the agents are the most important part of that project, where they take up these initially coming leads. We have trained the agent to ask certain questions which helps the company understand the seriousness of a certain prospect, right? And go ahead and then ask those qualifying questions through the agent, save all the information within the CRM, for example, and once it passes those criterias, you go ahead and schedule a meeting with these prospective people, right? So what happens now is that you are able to book more meetings, maybe 2x more meetings than what you were doing together as a human team, right? So we the humans can still do it. However, we're trying to build assistants who can improve this process, enhance this process. Okay.
Right.
And like I said, you're missing the opportunities because you don't have time. You're not able to give enough time to each lead. You're not able to qualify them properly, right? So roughly, if I talk about the numbers, the math that we did is like 37% fewer missed opportunities is what we could see as a result, right? And agents are focusing on the hot leads. They're talking with humans. They're taking their prospects to the site, showing them the properties and involving themselves in this exciting work. So that is how it works for the Gold Estate Agency, which is based out of Canada.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I think Sanjana, I think we already running short of time. The use
Sure.
use
Right.
case two is like an upgrade to what we've done for the other agency in Canada, right?
Right.
Here the main thing was, apart from not just the, we are also trying to automate certain processes, log a CRM activity, do a follow-up calling, so that whatever has gone cold, right? How can you now make sure that it is nurtured and reaches the hot stage again? Okay. So
Right.
once you got leads, probably for some reason you missed it, but once you missed it, there is an automated follow-up strategy that has been trained for the AI agents, and they take up and then they try to make sure that these leads again get warm and hot, and then you have an opportunity to do business with them again, right? So this is the
Right.
use case that we have in hand.
Great. So I think now we'll move forward. So Rajesh, I believe you have something exciting to show us, a live demo
Yeah.
of how these AI agents actually work, right? We get a live
Yeah.
demo now.
So we can start with a practical demo. Okay, like how AI agents have been working. Okay, so Krishna is going to enter the Kalyan's number. Okay, and then Kalyan is going to receive a call. Okay, from a real estate firm. Okay, and he is going to give his outputs. Okay, and depending upon the outputs. Okay, it all the information will be stored in the CRM. Okay, so Krishna, can you please call Kalyan?
Yeah, please. So I am getting a phone call on my number. Okay, I will on it and put it on speaker. Rajesh?
Hi, this is Myra calling from Gold State Real Estate.
Hi, Myra. Hi, Myra. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, Kalyan. If you find the perfect home, can you tell me how many bedrooms you're looking for?
Sure, Myra. We are a large family. I am at least looking for a 5 bedroom, hall, and a kitchen kind of a home.
For hearing that, Kalyan. A 5-bedroom home with a hall and kitchen sounds perfect for a large family. How many bathrooms would you prefer in your new home?
5.
Great. 5 bathrooms, that's the bedroom. Got it. One more quick question. Have you already been pre-approved?
Yes, I am.
That's wonderful, Kalyan. Since you're already pre-approved, for you. To make things easier, I can schedule a quick 10, 15-minute call with one of our senior experts. They'll walk you through the buying process. What is your preferred date and time for the call?
Can you do it next week? Next week, somewhere in the second half, around 2 p.m. on Wednesday.
Your appointment is booked for Wednesday next week at 2 p.m. with our senior expert. They'll guide you through the home buying process and answer all. Your appointment is booked. Thank you for your time, Kalyan.
Thanks,
Any
Myra.
questions before your
I have a small question. Do you have a name of the agent who's going to give me a walkthrough of the property?
Thank you for your question, Kalyan. I don't have a specific agent's name right now, but our senior expert will introduce themselves at the start of your schedule and guide you through everything. If you have any more questions or need anything else, feel free to ask.
Thank you. It was wonderful talking to you. So yeah, this was the call. it has scheduled an appointment with me next week on Wednesday, right? I'm excited to see the property.
Wow, you can barely tell the difference, huh? She sounds like a
Yeah,
real person.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true. Yeah. And
yeah.
hats off
Obviously,
to,
it is not going to remove those people, okay, who are working in your firm, but it is going to ease the work of them, okay, to nurture the leads, okay, like which of
Right.
the leads are being interested, okay. So rather than calling them, okay, and then setting up the appointments, okay, it is easier for to see, okay, like what type of property they are looking for and are they pre-approved for the mortgage or not, okay. And we already have all this data, okay. So let me do one thing. Let me open this data, okay. Whatever the Kalyan told, okay, everything is recording. Let me share my screen, okay. One sec.
wow, that's so nice.
So you can see here everything has been recorded, okay. What is the status, okay, what time the meeting is, okay, what is the call summary, okay, and here's the transcript, okay. I mean, who said what, and here's the recording URL, okay. So you can have n number of informations, okay, and we can input and outputs can be different. See, I mean, if anybody is using another CRM like Go High Level or other, okay, we can set that, okay. It is not compulsory that we can use only Google Sheets also.
Great.
Okay, over to
So,
you, Kalyan.
like Kalyan, like what
Yeah.
does the roadmap look like for businesses wanting to implement AI agents? Like, is this an expensive affair for like new startups or real estate companies that are not willing to spend a lot?
True. True. Uh, okay. So the best part of voice agents, or maybe implementing any AI agent for that sake, right? The beauty about it, like I was mentioning, it is not very industry specific, right? Obviously, real estate is one industry which is like a perfect use case for implementing voice agents or any AI agents for that sake, right? Also, with the LLM coming into picture, right, most of the job has been made very very easy, right? So all you need
Right.
is a proper consultant who can basically guide you and help you understand what part of your business can be automated for the good of the company and to take it to a next level, right? So being optimistic, if we can brainstorm and understand a certain business process together, what happens is that we identify certain areas. So that is the first step, mutually trying to understand a certain business process and trying to understand the pain points a certain business has, right? And mutually, when they are feeling that pain, obviously, they would want to understand how a solution can be brought to it, right? And in many of the cases, what happens is that a voice agent or an AI agent can be a perfect solution to implement, right?
Right.
And it's very easy. There are examples where we've implemented agents in a matter of just a week or a two, not more than that, right? So it depends on the use case. It depends on how complex are we wanting the agents to be built, right? What are the core functionalities that need to be covered within the AI agent, right? So these are all the parameters which basically define it. Sanjana, can you take over and come to that slide so that we can have a context and the
Sure.
audience will be able to better relate to what I'm saying?
Are you able to see it now, Kalyan?
Yeah, I am. So I think we'll go back a step back where we can see that diagram. Yeah. Okay, so like I was mentioning, first thing to do is identify a use case which can add value. So we're not trying to push and implement a agent or a voice agent deliberately. We just need to make sure that there is a value addition that will be done. It is really required, right? a human basically needs an assistance, that is where we try to come up with an agent as a solution, right? So we are understanding a use case within a business. So in our case, if it's a real estate business, is there a need for certain things within a sales process? Do you want to automate something using the agent? Try to identify that, and is it adding value? Go ahead and let's do it. Okay. Second thing is, we have to understand how the current business process is working. So for example, how are your agents, when I say a agent, a human agent, interacting with your buyer, I mean the prospects, the sellers, or the tenants? How are their conversations happening? What sort of objections do a certain prospect raise? So this kind of a study needs to be done to understand how your current operations are being done by the human team members. Okay. So the first thing is that, whenever you are in a certain business, right, we are not wanting to force you into getting into a AI agentic solution. First thing to understand is that, is there really a need for an AI voice agent, right? If your team is really capable enough, you have processes defined in a way that everything is working seamlessly and there is no need, then probably not, right? But in our experience of having interacted with a lot of businesses, different types of businesses, we've understood there is definitely a need for sure. Okay. Right. In 99% of the cases, we could see that need. Okay. So the first step to this roadmap is, we identify a use case. Okay. Why do we really need an agent? Okay. So the need needs to be felt not just by us, but also by the client, right? Or a business that is wanting to improve its processes. Okay. So the first thing is that we identify a use case, whatever is a particular scenario. Can we implement a voice agent which can enhance the whole business process of yours? So that is very important. Okay. Now, if I talk about the real estate industry, right, you have buyers, you have sellers, these are your prospects, you're interacting with them. Okay. So this becomes a kind of a knowledge base for the AI when we are training it. Okay. So what we do is we identify a use case, we identify the pain points, we move on to understand how the human interactions are happening. Okay. And that is used as a training material for the voice agents to get trained, right? And wherever we see that there is a option to enhance it or improve it, we also do that, because we know that the human agents are not doing it, but if they do it, probably the whole process will be taken to a next level, right? So we then go ahead and train the agents with this data, and now we are at a stage that we have a kind of a minimum viable product in hand. However, we don't want to take a risk. Okay. We want to be sure that it is working out well, and then we can do a kind of a full-fledged launch so that your customers can start interacting with the agents rather than the human agents, for example. Okay. So we do a kind of a pilot launch. Okay. So we are testing it for maybe 1 or 2 properties or one of the agent lines to see how it is working, trying to gather certain feedback, keep an eye on how these transcripts are doing. Is there any kind of a loophole? Was there like not a complete satisfaction from the human interaction on the other side? So what we do is we try to understand those scripts, analyze those scripts, and we are involved in a process of continuous improvisation till a point that it can be rolled out for a mass. Okay. So that is how it works. Obviously, between this step, if you want to also have integration to certain third parties. So for example, once you're happy with the MVP, now before you launch, you also want to make sure that you want to integrate these voice agents with the Google Calendar. So you can go ahead and do that, so that before you launch it for the masses, you're also very sure that all the data or the conversations that are happening are getting logged in your CRM, right? And that gives you an edge over maintaining and qualifying the leads. Okay. So this is a proper journey from A to Z when you're wanting to implement a voice AI.
Amazing. So moving forward, Kalyan, I just have one last question for you, right? So what, according to you, Kalyan, has been the impact of AI voice agents post-deployment among your clients?
Right. So we discussed this in the previous slides as well. The
Right.
kind of the promptness increases, and once the
Right.
promptness increases, it's a different ball game. Okay. So
Mm.
imagine if you are using a voice agent, you always have this pleasure of uh, you know responding back to your leads in just a matter of 1 or 5 minutes. Okay, which probably a human would take 2 or 3 hours at least to get back to a certain lead, right?
Right.
Similarly, what happens is the lead qualification process, that speeds up. So it is just a matter of within minutes, and it can be, it can take hours or days in case of human agents. Okay. Now, the end product to this is that your conversion rate goes up, right? So it is at least
Right.
like 4 to 5x. If you were getting maybe 1% conversion, this is a kind of a standard within the industry, right? So if you're getting a 1% conversion, you can expect, because of your promptness, because of a 24/7 interaction, and a properly deployed voice agent can give you that confidence of 4 to 5 x the conversion of what you are having, right? And
Right.
then we talked about availability and also cost per lead. So you can optimize certain costs. Like I was saying, uh, rather than having additional resources in terms of lead qualification, you can focus on having an AI agent, and grow your people, so that they can concentrate on real business. That is where the most important part of the money is coming from. So they can, give the precious time to the most precious clients, right? And leave the lead nurturing part to the AI agents. Okay.
Great.
Right. Obviously you are able to handle more leads, which
Right.
we talk about in the last column, right? So you are able to at least take over 200-300 leads a day, if that is your need, right? So if you have an inbound marketing strategy which gives you these many leads, your AI agents are ready to take up that number of leads as well. Okay.
Awesome. Then I think I'm just going to move to the next slide. Right. We have a sources page, and we'll quickly take in Q&A questions from our viewers if they have any. Do we have any questions?
Okay, I think we
Prithvi
have
has something.
Prithvi raising his hand. Yeah.
Right. So Prithvi, I've allowed you if you want to speak out your question, or you can just type it in the Q&A box and we'll read it out and we can, answer it.
Right. Am I audible?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
you are
Prithvi, you are.
Prithvi. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I have to ask one question. Like I have observed that many real estate companies, like they have employees who have been with them around, let's say, around 20, 30 years, and they are like family to that particular company, right? So with growing use of AI, is there a risk that these long-term team members might lose their jobs? And if so, like how can companies adopt AI while still protecting and valuing their loyal workforce?
Yeah, obviously. See, I know, we are all a family. There are people who work for organizations for many years together, and you would not want them to, you don't want to part ways, right? Which is very important, right? So, let us go a step back. I want to compare it with the days when the computers were invented. Okay, when they came in, everybody was thinking, if the computer does my job, what will happen to me? Okay, right. So
Right.
imagine if you were a bank employee, and the bank now uses computers. Okay. However, this is the trend. Whenever there's a technology upgrade, it opens door for a lot of other things. Okay. Why don't you take it the other way around, that if you have a team of certain agents, okay, who are doing lead nurturing, getting exhausted, and they're also, handling the most important part of the job, which I was saying, right? Showing them properties, having real conversations with the clients, right? what would happen is when you use agents, there is an increase in volume of leads that you're going to get. Serious clients, the number of serious clients which you were getting by doing the job yourself will be now more than what it was before, because you were doing both the stuffs together, right? Or maybe there was some human helping you out, right? But however, if you create a push through the agents, what happens is the lead qualification happens very quickly. There are more number of leads coming into the organization. So you will be, no matter what, you will be more involved in the beautiful part of the work than the normal work, which probably is monotonous or boring. Okay, so it's not going to take away your jobs. You have to adapt or adopt the technology that is coming up, and it is definitely going to open new doors, and you'll be able to do more business, engage your people into something very, very important. And also I feel that when someone joins you as a team over the years, they want to grow as well. Okay, so you're giving them a kind of an opportunity to explore and do something altogether at a next level, rather than getting worried about the small things which probably can be left to the voice agents. Okay, so that is a beautiful way of answering it. Compare it with the days when the computers were invented, and people might have had a similar kind of a dilemma, what would happen to our jobs. But it helped in creating many jobs, right? So I think the opportunities will increase, and like I said, the implementation of AI is not really tough. Over the years it has gone very, very easy. So what happens is that every small medium business can also now think about implementing AI within the organization, which means there are more opportunities. Okay.
Yes, yes, got it. Thank you for the detailed answer. Yeah.
Thanks, Prithvi. Thank you. Thanks for asking that question.
Do we have any other questions from the viewers? I guess no. So
We're good.
yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you so much, Rajesh and Kalyan, for these powerful insights, right? And the live demo. It's clear that AI is no longer a luxury in real estate; it's a necessity now. To everyone in the
Right.
to everyone here, if you'd like to explore how voice AI agents can work for your businesses, or if you have any other queries, please feel free to connect up with our team after the webinar. We'll also be sharing out a feedback form and a link to the meeting shortly, a link to the recording of the meeting shortly. Thank you again once again for joining, and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Sanjana. Thank you for hosting
Thank you,
us.
Rajesh. Thank you so
That
Thank
was
much.
a
you, everyone.
beautiful session, and I'm hoping that a lot of value was added to the audience today. Yeah.
Likewise. Great.
Thanks, guys.
Have a
Thank
good
you. Have
night,
a nice.
everyone. Bye.
Yes.